Hello, welcome. This is blockchainbloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Pink, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about that the search on altcoins in Google Trends hits all-time high. We have never seen them on this level. Also, let's talk about the fact that ETH treasuries climbed to 13 billion US dollar, and which companies are the ones which are the top holders of ETH. Talking about holding crypto strategy, it's actually really leading among the companies when it comes to Bitcoin. And by the way, they started exactly 5 years ago. And well, let's talk about this very significant strategy, which really reshaping, the treasuries kind of. Also, let's talk about the fact that, Donald Trump signs that now US retirement plans can hold crypto. So this is the 401k update. It's very, very important because people would like to have crypto in that. That could happen in the future. And we do have now a CME gap after the weekend. Let's check it out. Also, this week, important week, because you're going to have the CPI data coming out, the PPI data coming out, which, can change the possibilities. Will there be a rate cut or no in September? So, a lot of things to talk about, guys. And don't forget, every single day, I bring you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on blockchainbloom to keep you up to date. So, if that's important, very simple, just subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button if you like this kind of content. And now, let's do it. So when we're looking at the Bitcoin price, we can see that Bitcoin is up 1.1%. That makes Bitcoin 119,955. Ethereum 2.2 up, 4,271 US dollar. The top gainer pump, it's pumping now 17%. Lido is up 14% and ENA 7.5%. Among the losers, Fartcoin down 6%, Tezos 4%, and we have Aero down almost 4%. And when we're looking at the Bitcoin candlestick chart, then, okay, let's do it this way. So basically we can see here the Bitcoin on the weekly, after the inverse head and shoulders, this neckline worked totally well as a support level. And now, look at the weekly, the Bitcoin, it speaks to itself. Bitcoin dominance, it started to decrease significantly last week, looking at the weekly chart, but we couldn't close the week under 60%, which could be, I think, very, very important. So now actually we came back a little bit, but hopefully this trend will continue because that's going to help altcoins. And Ethereum, it's also now important to talk about. When you're looking at this line here is drawn on the monthly. And when you're looking at the monthly, then, the bigger time frame is better, I think, for the trend. And we can see that we broke last month and closed above this trend line. And now we just continue. So Ethereum is now on levels which we haven't seen it since December 2021, around the peak of the last cycle. So this is really significant in my opinion. And now let's talk about the first topic. And the first topic is all about that we have never seen search on the altcoins, the word altcoin, that high in Google Trend ever. That is right now. So, it looks like people searching for the word altcoins, finding probably the top altcoins and all these kind of things. And here is Google Trends. And if you're looking at worldwide, now this is in Hungarian, but ignore it. Here it says worldwide since 2024. That's the earliest. You can go back and look. Now this spike here, what you can see, it's just now in August. So in August, the search for the word altcoin is the highest ever in history. And I think this is definitely significant. And it's not just because of the companies they accumulating in their treasuries altcoins, but also kind of means that the retail is about to waking up. I do believe we are still early, because usually in Q3, Q4, at some point, we go up. And yes, we are now in Q3, but usually the October and November are more bullish months. But every single time after we had the halving year, so 1 year after the halving, that's what I want to say. So in 2017, 2021, and could be now in 2025, August was the kind of formed the bottom, and then everything started to, go higher and higher. So it could be a very interesting time now. So it's really worth to watch, in my opinion. And now let's talk about, which is related to this topic, about ETH treasuries, which is climbing now to 13 billion US dollar. So not just Bitcoin is the asset which they accumulate, companies, when it comes to crypto, but now we have, other cryptocurrencies, and Ethereum, the second biggest crypto by market cap, is also part of it. Ethereum price is going up, and part because of this, because there is already 13 billion US dollar, which is now in ETH treasuries. And if you would like to look at the companies, so definitely Bitmine, I've talked about a lot of times in this channel, they have accumulated the most. They're really aggressive. They started just a couple of weeks ago, and they hold already 4.8 billion US dollar worth of ETH, 1.2 million exactly. Then we have Sharplink also having almost 600,000 ETH. Then we have the Ether machine, and here the Ether Foundation, and here's the. Actually, there are, okay, that's pending, but which is not pending, 65, going this way, 65 companies on the list, and at the bottom we have 101 ETH. So that's not a huge number, but still, exist. And this list probably will grow, just like, the list grows, which shows who is accumulating Bitcoin. So I think that's important. And when we're talking about this, we should also mention that there are, again, significant inflows into Ethereum spot ETFs on the 8th of August. So we don't know that today, but last Friday, we had 461 million US dollar worth of ETH entering into this. And when we're looking at Bitcoin, it also, after 4 days of outflows, we have 3 days of inflow. But on that same day, 8th of August, good number, 403 million US dollar have been accumulated on the 8th of August, but it's less than Ethereum. And this again shows the strength of Ethereum right now. But we have one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls, and this is definitely strategy. And actually now in August is the anniversary when they started really collecting Bitcoin, exactly 5 years ago. So Michael Saylor and his company, back then MicroStrategy, now Strategy, started the Bitcoin accumulation trend actually 5 years ago. And now on the anniversary, on the 5th anniversary, they bought another $18 million worth of Bitcoin. When you're looking at, the Saylor tracker, it shows this is the orange dot. Here you can see the very first one. Actually, this one's showing September, but I do know that it's happened in August, the very first one back then, because I started this channel in 2020 in May, and it was big news that Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy started to buy Bitcoin. So yeah, crazy numbers. And the first time they ever bought Bitcoin, it was at 11,500 US dollars. So well, they started early, I do remember. And yeah, they're doing it since, and it looks like so far this strategy, it works out. And also, crypto is now part of a lot of things. And because of Donald Trump signed this new thing, now it's going to be part of the 401k. Right, so now, pension funds, the 401k could include crypto as well. So Donald Trump has signed an executive order to open the $9 trillion US retirement market to cryptocurrency investment, private equity, and other alternative investments such as property deals, in a move that will reshape how American savings are managed. Definitely. And guess what, guys? We're talking about more than $9 trillion US dollars. So if, a tiny percentage of that, really tiny percentage goes to crypto and Bitcoin, that definitely will help to push the price higher. It probably takes time until, they figure out how it really works, and people are going to start investing in that, choosing this kind of option. But the possibility after you signed it, now it's there. And I think this is a very, very important thing. Okay, now let's talk about the fact that we do have, again, CME gap. So when we see now Bitcoin price going up, we should be aware of it, that on the weekend we created another CME gap. And actually, if you go here and here, then whoops, it's a bit together, but give me 1 second and you're going to see this gap even better. Oh, that's the weekly. Oh, sorry, monthly even worse. So here on the daily, you see it better. So here we have another CME gap. We had this one, then we refilled it here, and now another one is there. So it could happen that Bitcoin price is coming down again here to fill this gap. Not every single CME gap is filled, but the majority. So, just kind of be aware of it. Okay. And now let's move on to the fact that this week could be very important when it comes to inflation data, because the new CPI and PPI is coming out this week. So first, let's talk about the CPI data. And as you can see, previously we had a forecast 2.6 and it turned out to be 2.7. Now the forecast says 2.8, and it will be better. That could be very good if we're talking about the possibilities for rate cuts at the next FOMC meeting in September. We do have the bad job data, but this is now the CPI data coming. And actually, before the FOMC, we're going to have the August CPI data as well. So that will also come out. So 2 CPI data can have an impact on the decision. By the way, we have here the PPI. Also, the forecast. Oh, it's not saying anything yet. That looked definitely better than the CPI. So we're going to see it. The chances for the rate cuts, 86% is going to happen in September. So now it's more likely, much more likely that's going to happen in September than not. But we have a lot of time until that. And these kind of data, CPI, PPI, and the others can have an impact on this decision. So we're going to see that. Guys, that's it for today. Don't forget, every single day, I'm bringing you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain to keep you up to date. So if that's important, simply subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button if you like this kind of content. And yeah, see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.